core skateboarding is the brands that were out there making VX parts, and you could call them the original founding fathers of skateboarding now, but now they're going to be dying out. To make it in skateboarding, you would either have to know somebody from one of the brands, or you would have to enter contests and show that you have the skills to be on their team and impress the team managers. You have to show them that your skills are a great asset to their brand. So the way core brands would work, they would film with their team, so all their skaters on their brand, they would film for a VX part, they would go to the skate shops, give them the VX parts, and they would do a premiere and try to drop their parts as so they could promote their brand. Now things are going to be changing. Well, they have been changing for whenever YouTube started, because YouTube is basically the evolution of skateboarding. And what I mean by that is basically skateboarding, it used to be that you'd have to go to the shops and you have to get your name recognized by going to them and trying to show your skills. But now that has changed. Skateboarding now, you don't need to go to the shops, you don't need to go to brands and try to find a way to get into whatever brand you want. Now that YouTube's out there and you have a platform where you can show your skills, you could still get on a team, get sponsored without having to go through that core brand ideology. It's not about what the brands want, but what the viewers want. Or young kids, young people that want to go into skateboarding, they're not going to DC websites or skateboarding websites to find out how to skateboard. They're going to YouTube to find out how to skateboard, and then once they learn how to skateboard, then they might actually go to the core brand websites. But in the beginning, they're not going to. They're just going to learn how to skateboard. But now that we're in an era where skateboarding is now with everyone, and it's not just like just the skaters in the skate shop, now it's like the whole world knows what skateboarding is. Either going to YouTube for learning how to learn a new trick, so learning how to ollie, or if they're beginners, they're probably going to learn how to ollie, how to 180, all the basics. And some skaters might actually just go to YouTube and look up Nike skateboarding and just look at some of their videos. Like, they're one of the most popular brands out there. If I go to my phone right now and look up on YouTube skateboarding, the first thing that comes up is an ad by Braille, how to ollie, and then 2 more videos of Braille skateboarding. What I think this means in the future. So when you're going to YouTube, the main 3 that I grew up watching with Braille skateboarding, Andy Schrock, and Barracks. Now, the Barracks had a good segment, knowing that they wanted to post up videos for YouTube with skateboarding in it at the Barracks. But even so, a lot of the kids nowadays, they're not just looking at skateboarding, but they're also looking at the character of the skateboarder too. Honestly, if you look at Braille and Andy Schrock and John Hill, because I watched them too, they have more subscribers than the core brand YouTube channels. So the reason why skateboarding core is dying out is because a lot of kids don't care about that stuff anymore. They're actually more interested in that actual sport, skateboarding. And the best way that you could find skateboarding is just going to YouTube and looking up video parts and having no problem with that. Instead, they should be sponsoring YouTubers, because the best way to promote your product is through someone who's always been doing YouTube, had more subscribers than their brand channel, and they'll be able to push themselves out. There's always been that gap between core and YouTubers, because YouTubers were always hated by core skateboarding, and there was a time when some skaters wanted to actually start their own YouTube channel, but the core brand said that if they do, then they're going to get kicked off. It's because if they show their skills that they're pushing out and they're doing it on a daily basis, they're not going to be as surprised for the viewers when that video part comes out for their channel. Core brands can make more money by going to YouTube and promoting their skaters to start a YouTube channel. And the reason why is, again, with the kids, they want to go out to YouTube, and it's the easiest platform to go to find awesome videos for them to learn. I think that core skateboarding is a dying brand. I think the new era is YouTube, and the only way that core brand can save themselves is by going to YouTube. Though they might not like it, they don't have a choice. It's either go to YouTube or crash and burn. The only thing that's keeping the core brands is the names that are on the team. So if you have like Primitive, you have Paul Rodriguez, Carlos Riberos, everyone's buying those boards. But if those team riders get off the team, nobody's going to be buying those boards. No one's going to even know the brand anymore. It's the actual names behind that brand that push the product out. If you look at Girl has Mike Capaldi, Sean Malto. If you want to buy those boards, you're going to buy those boards because they have their name on it. They're in the team. You want to support them. But if those guys come off the team, start their own brand, nobody's going to be wanting to buy their product anymore. No one's going to want to buy Girl. No one's going to even remember Girl in the next 20 years. It's not just based on the brand anymore. It's also the team riders and what they pushing out, as well as content. So if they're pushing out content on their YouTube channel, if you look at Mike Mose with his Battle at the Barracks or whatever, you get yourself motivated. You want to buy his board and support him. If you look at the 9 Club, they're pushing out their own product through YouTube. So would you consider that a core brand if they're using YouTube as a platform to push themselves out? It doesn't matter. They're making money. That's all that matters. If you're making money, you're able to make a living, that's the only thing that matters.